Testing, hot outbound count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear? Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fats.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Joe Fencer Blouse of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fats.
Some kids are small, some kids are tall. Fatso Cramden is the only kid who walks down the hall, wall to wall. Keep that in mind. Dick Burney.
Dick Burney.
He's going to show up later.
The only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. Our home base, the home website, is non-productive.com/honeymooners. That's if you just want to go and listen, and all 78 episodes are on there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And also, if you go to our website, you can join our Patreon if you want to support the show. Very minimal, you don't have to, I know a couple of you guys got $75 laying around.
No, we can put you down for the usual buck.
And what's happening, Lou?
Joe, number 78.
Yes.
Got some good 78s here.
Okay.
Bobby Bell.
Anthony
Munoz.
Munoz.
You remember him.
Great.
Bobby Bell was the Kansas City Chief with that, with the Willie Lanier years. And
When they were
Len Dawson.
champions in when
they
early
went to the
70s.
first Super Bowl, Bobby Bell.
Right.
Art Shell, 78.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie Slater.
Oh, yeah. We're in the offensive line.
And, well, on the other side, Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
Big 78.
Oh, God, I remember watching him just kill my team. Oh.
Well, anybody could kill your team.
Yeah,
Go
that's
to
true.
junior high school.
Yeah, that's true. My brother's coaching my nephews, and I think they can actually do a good job against the team. But, all right. Well, before we get started, we want to talk about our wonderful sponsor, Silk City Hot Sauce, right? So what you got to do is you got to go to silkcityhotsauce.com, right? Get yourself some great hot sauce. I mean, it's homemade.
How can this harm you? It's homemade, pal.
You know what I mean? It's homemade stuff, And I mean, if you're trying to get somebody else, if you already have it, right? And you're like, you want to get somebody else to get the hot sauce, you just...
I'll let him taste it. He'll be sold on it just like we were.
Exactly.
Couldn't put it better myself.
Like, Lou, it's like... sometimes you can ask some people if they like it or not, and some people might be like...
I know I've never tasted it before, but there's something about the aroma I recognize. Hey, this is...
Badass Jew.
Now, that's one of Louis' favorites.
Yes.
And I love Slurp, which is...
And we both like Aztec Attack.
I haven't tried
I
Aztec.
thought you tried it.
No,
Did you try
I've
it?
tried Mango Madness and Slurp because they're like the sweeter ones. So you know what I want to know?
The other one you like was Taco Fiesta. That's
Fiesta,
the one you like.
yes.
Okay.
But I asked Ralph. I was like, Ralph, do you like Badass Jew or Taco Fiesta? And he was just like,
I don't want either. I'll have a small cup of black coffee.
it's like we're doing radio from the 90s.
Yeah, really.
I'm playing clips, having a good time here. Good, clean fun. That's what it's all about, kids. It's all about good, clean fun. So listen, go to SilkCityHotSauce.com. Get yourself some great hot sauce.
This is just delicious.
It's delicious, all right? And when you go to the checkout counter, there'll be a coupon code, I think, in the top right-hand corner. Put RX in the coupon code. Get yourself a 15% percentage off of your order and get yourself a free bottle of cherry sriracha. So, we're going to get going now with episode 78.
It's got to be the greatest commercial of all time.
It's the best live read.
Is. Oh, God.
It's the best live read. And also, if you want to buy T-shirts, we still have T-shirts.
Oh, yeah, T-shirts, yeah.
Yep. Go to the website, and you can, as you click on each episode, there'll be a thing for T-shirts
That's
also.
right. Remember, Christmas is just around the corner.
Yeah.
You could buy yourself one for yourself and just open it up on Christmas Day and say, "Whoa, what a surprise!"
Yeah, it's better than buying yourself an orange juice maker.
Yeah, right.
Orange juice squeezer.
Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon.
Napoleon with a raccoon T-shirt on. with a Honeymooners podcast T-shirt.
All right, so let's get into it. We got some stuff we're going to do today. First off, we're going to go with, it's a newer bit.
Yeah.
It's just a redirection to something, but we're going to have the info, the promo for it soon.
Yeah,
but we're calling it the
recall of the week.
Of the week, everything is of the week.
Everything's of the week on this show, even if we don't record that week.
Exactly,
it's still
of the week,
right? Because we just like the way that sounds.
Yeah, exactly. And we already we explained it. It's because we're doing so many different things on the show. Yeah, then all of a sudden we'll listen to it, or after we're done. And we're like, oh, you know what? I could have brought this up.
Yeah.
And instead of it just going away, might as well bring it up.
Bring it back. We'll just
but you're not going to you can't just say, you want to let everybody know we're going back to something.
Yeah.
So pretend you just heard this great intro.
Yes.
Because we're going to have
an excellent one for it.
Yes.
So this is recall of the week.
Recall of the week. And we're going to go back to last week.
Which was the original recall.
Which was the original recall.
So this is recalling the recall.
So this is a recalling of the investment. Reinvestment. So last week we were talking, and you made a recall about the Judy Connors
thing.
And because we discussed that we think Judy Connors forgot to say Crazy House.
Right. We said it was a flub of omission.
As we
eloquently put it.
And we got some people that disagreed, and we discussions, and we called each other names and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Because I don't take criticism very well. So
lose all American. I don't take criticism very well. So we're gonna play because we're gonna go over that a little bit.
Yeah, because we want to add a couple of little things that we didn't recall during the first recall.
All right, so here we'll play, and there's nothing wrong with playing clips because
they're great.
Exactly.
Better than some dust talk.
Where are you and Wallace going to go tonight, Judy?
We're going over to the amusement park, and we're going to go roller skating. See, they're having a bob contest. And we're going to go on some of the rides, like the roller coaster, the tunnel of love.
Oh, boy, you kids certainly have fun.
Yeah, and I know, believe me, we will not be mentioning Judy Connors again after this show for a long time. All right,
she's becoming our new trap.
But she really is.
She's great.
She's great.
We've just elevated her.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like into
Hi, Mrs. Cramden.
She's like almost like approaching like Teddy Oberman status.
Yeah. It's almost like she's like an old Italian or an old Jewish lady. She's like, hi, Mrs. Cramden. So she doesn't mention Crazy House, but she mentions everything else.
So now, so this was the controversy that we were going back and forth on the page, and and emails and stuff like that. And it's just it's the thing. It's very It's just like almost like the Weehawk and Canarsie Mambo controversy. I mean, it's up there. Nothing to do with the UN outlawing the H-bomb. It's like Judy Connors omitting Crazy House now. Talk about important stuff.
I know. Can you imagine if everybody else only worried about the stuff we worried about?
We'd
be doing okay.
The world would be a great place.
Would be a wonderful place. Really would.
Wonderful.
So now you heard Judy mention those things, and then now we have Alice doing the same thing.
You know, it'd be fun, Ralph. You know what we could do that'd be an awful lot of fun? We could go roller skating.
You got any ketchup?
It's in the icebox.
You got any ketchup?
You got any ketchup?
And you haven't been listening to one word I've been saying.
Oh, I've been listening to you, all right. I'll take you roller skating tomorrow night.
Oh, Ralph, that's wonderful. And you know where we can go? They've got a wonderful rink over in the amusement park.
Roller skating?
And you know, there are a lot of other wonderful things we can do, too, Ralph. We can go on the roller coaster rides, and they're having a bop dance contest. And then, we can go take a ride through the Tunnel of Love and the Crazy House.
The Crazy House? You don't have to go to any amusement park for a Crazy House. We got one right here.
Okay.
All right, so that's... Not even heard that for the third week
in a row. They're like, what are you guys doing? Can you get off of the Judy Connors thing?
The guy's obsessed with Judy Connors. Thank God she's 20.
Yeah.
I guess that's what a 14-year-old.
14 years old. and that was the other thing, too. With her being 14.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we
were talking about that. And look, we're all a little bit, I don't know, we can all be a smidge sensitive now than we were 65 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that things didn't bother him back then.
Right.
That's what they called them, the good old days.
Yeah. But if you think about it, would the jokes have worked if she was 16?
Yes.
And Wallace was almost 18.
Almost 18.
I think it could have went either way.
Right.
Because 14 is the exaggeration
of her just being a young kid.
Being a kid.
A kid.
Because it's roller skating, it's crazy house, tunnel of love.
Roller coaster, kid.
Child. You're not thinking teenager, you're thinking kid. But to people who are 40 and people in their 40s, I mean, we look at kids who are 16 and they're kids.
They look like babies.
They're babies. So we wonder, would it have made a difference?
Because, Joe, we were talking about this before when we were setting this whole thing up. Judy being 14, she could actually be in 8th grade.
Right.
Wallace is almost 18.
Almost 18.
So he could be a senior in high school.
Senior in high school.
So that's pretty creepy in my book.
Yeah. When I was in high school, there were like 1 or 2 times, like during my high school, from freshman to senior, where there would be like once in like 2 or 3 times I saw like a senior. You heard of a senior dating an 8th grader, but then you found out this girl was 8th grade and she was like almost a woman.
A woman, yeah.
She was like one of those.
Yeah, one of those. It's just physically advanced.
Yeah.
But Ralph's saying 14. She's a 14-year-old kid, Alice. Now,
right.
He may not know how old she is. He could just be saying that. She's a 14-year-old kid. How do you really know how old? Start of this.
Yeah, really.
How do you know how old Judy Connors is?
That's true.
He may not know. Yeah. He probably just said this number. She's a 14-year-old kid.
He doesn't know the difference between Incy Weensy
and Itsy Bitsy.
And Itsy Bitsy.
How would he know between the difference between 14 and 16?
Right. Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
another thing you got to take.
I don't know how tight he was with Mr. Connors. But yeah, so we were wondering, like, you know what? I don't think it made a difference with the joke.
Right.
If he would have said she's 16, I think the jokes would have still went over. But we also discussed how half of the jokes on the episode, because they filled it with young kids.
Yes.
Some of the jokes they didn't even get.
Didn't register. Some of the jokes didn't even register because the audience was too young. Majority of the audience was kids, probably 14 years old, the 16-year-old kids.
Absolutely.
So their kids are not getting the humor.
And we also discussed that when you're in a giant theater and it's live, they're playing it live. We talked about how sometimes the adults didn't get some of the things.
You
know what I mean?
And then the kids, they're laughing when Ralph comes out with his crazy outfit again. We're talking about crazy outfits.
Crazy outfits, yeah.
He comes out with the crazy, and they laugh, and it's funny in that vein.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's the whole thing too. But we did have the controversy on the internet. People going back and forth on is it omission or it wasn't, and it wasn't, it is, it isn't. Yeah. I don't know. I'm in the camp that it was an omission on her part.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think so. Because why would Alice go? Does Alice know there's a crazy house at the amusement park?
Right.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
And why would she just basically reiterate everything that Judy said,
and then just throw in
crazy house? Now
which became the joke.
The joke.
By the way.
It becomes the joke of that little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Judy. Okay. All right. So until next week.
We'll do a recalling.
We bring up
Judy
Connors again. You can hear
maybe we'll talk about Wallace this time a little bit more.
We could play the skit for them again. We'll play the bit. I'm sure they're dying to hear that. They're out there saying, "Please play Trapped. Go back to Trapped, please." Okay, but we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. We're doing another
recall of the recall,
and this one is from I think it's last week.
Yeah,
and then from the week before.
The week before we did.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And this is all about Fred's Landing. So we'll just play it real quick.
Bob, here's a little letter. I've been waiting for this from the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the tax department.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that when I was bringing the mail up today.
Well, why didn't you tell me it was here? I've been waiting for this. Do you know what this is? My tax refund. Hey, how much you getting back, Ralph? Well, the way I figured it out, about $42. And it couldn't have come at a better time. I'm going to blow this whole thing on 2 glorious weeks' vacation fishing at Fred's Landing. Isn't that going to be fun, hon? I hope we get that same tent we had last year.
That ought to be easy. Tell them we want the one with a snake in it.
Norton, I'm telling you, you should have been with us. You would have died
And
laughing.
then, of course, there's
I thought I was going to kill myself laughing, watching her run away from that snake.
How could you see me run? You were way ahead of me.
Shut up, Dizzy Dean, and eat your spaghetti.
My line. Okay. So, do you notice, Joe, real quick before you get into it, Norton's laugh? I know you love the Norton's laugh. Do you notice how he laughs? Because the audience is really laughing, and he just does that little and then when the audience starts to silence their laugh, he comes out with the big laugh.
No, I didn't notice
he's
that.
actually going to the audience. He goes, when the audience starts to calm down. Yeah, so he doesn't want to get, basically, out-laughed by the audience.
Oh.
So he waits for it to calm down, and then he lets out the big laugh.
And it's
which
just so funny.
Which is so funny.
Right, which is warrants, Ralph saying,
shut up, Dizzy Dean, eat your spaghetti.
Eat your spaghetti.
All right, so here's our recall of the recall.
Okay.
And we were talking about the tent. And we went into that last week with the tent.
Like how are you going to be in a tent for 2 weeks? Like you said, you're like this 300-pound guy who's going to be laying in a tent
in a sleeping bag
for
2
weeks. It's bad enough going camping for one night.
Week. Yeah, really. So we said last week. Remember, we said that. How about if they made it weekend? It would have made more sense.
Yes.
And we said if we said weekend, we wouldn't be talking about it right now.
Right.
But I'm glad they said 2 weeks because it gives us something to talk about. Now, here's the question, Joe. I'm going to pose it to you. Would this bit work if they said cabin instead of tent?
I think so.
What do you think?
I think so. Only because 2 weeks fishing.
Fishing, right? They're fishing at Fred's
Landing. I don't know what the landing looks like.
We don't know.
But obviously, this is the main thing.
Yeah, they're going to be fishing.
Something that, listen, maybe the women wanted to go the one time just for the novelty of it.
Yeah.
But to be out, you're basically talking about camping.
Camping, yeah. Basically, that's what you're doing in a tent.
Right.
So now the question is, does a cabin work instead of a tent? Logically,
think it
yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think if he says, we're going to get that same cabin that we got last time, sure, get the one with the snake in it.
A snake in a cabin? Why could there be a snake in a cabin? It's out in the woods there, whatever heck it is. On
I'm sure they're not thinking, I'm thinking more like Swiss Family Robinson, or a tiny little cabin,
Yeah.
Those little tiny things.
Yeah,
that
those
were
little
just,
things, yeah.
So I think it would have worked.
Yeah, I think cabin would have worked. I mean,
yeah.
Now, does tent make it funnier? That's the question.
I think only because of the word tent.
Yes.
Tent itself.
Yes.
Get that same tent.
Right.
Get that same cabin.
Yeah, because
cabin is a softer word.
Yeah.
Tent. It's that hard T and finishes with the hard T.
Yeah. It's rugged. The tent is rugged,
yeah.
Whereas the cabin doesn't necessarily have to be rugged. When I say cabin to you, we all conjure up a different kind of cabin.
Yeah.
You got the Abe Lincoln log cabin, where it has a big cabin like on HGTV.
Yeah, you're thinking of skiing.
Yeah, like
people ski lodges.
Right, ski lodge. So maybe tent is funnier.
There's a reason why the writers wrote for the greatest TV show of all time, and we're doing a podcast about the greatest TV show of all time. But obviously exaggeration and tent, just the idea of them, and maybe while you're watching it for the first time, in your head you're going, "Oh my God, these two were in a tent!" And then get it with the snake in it.
Yeah, again, here we go back to this one time seeing this live audience, one time seeing it, hearing it. You're watching it on TV in 1955, 56, seeing it once, and that's it. It's done. It's over. You probably missed half the stuff that they were talking about in the scene.
Right.
You're not dissecting it.
Exactly.
Dusty on that hole.
Finally,
I finally got into the hole. I finally went out the hole.
You finally got to the hole.
You want to know something, Joe? It's dusty out there.
Yeah, especially right near Cliff Hole. He played the president.
Applicant. Thank you, sir. Couldn't think of the word. So what are we talking about? Oh, the tent.
The tent.
So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about the tent.
Exaggeration. But I still think cabin with a snake in it, get the one with the snake in it. Because that's just funny in itself.
Yes.
Like, it's It's Alice being a smart aleck. Like a real, that's a smart aleck thing to say.
So you got to say this too, Joe. So the snake is the main crux of this joke.
Absolutely.
So cabin or tent probably wouldn't have made anything. Although to me, just conjuring this up like 65 years later, like picturing them
in a tent.
Picturing them just on vacation at Fred's Landing, like you said before. We don't know what else goes on at Fred's Landing. Do they go boating?
No,
do they do that? Yeah,
it's just like their apartment.
Yeah.
It's bare bones.
Yeah,
it's not a great vacation.
No,
that's why when he said it, she just gave that that look like we're gonna go there again.
Yeah,
and I don't blame her.
Yeah, really.
You know who blames Alice for not wanting to go to Fred's Landing?
Sleeping in maybe like I said, if you get the cabin, maybe you have a cot.
Yeah,
you don't know. Maybe it's like a little one room, like a tool shed.
Right. So maybe the whole idea, the thing that drives the joke is the fact that you're in a tent.
Okay. All right. So that's
so
okay.
I think that's
we think that's it. So 0 for cabin, 2 for tent. Okay. So that's our recall of the recall.
Yes, of course. All right.
On to the next thing.
We're going on to one of our favorite things to do.
Judy Connors.
No.
I'm telling you what, since this podcast, she's become a major player now. People are going to have more respect for Judy Connors.
I think so.
Because of this.
She really did a great job.
People have grown to respect Trapped more.
Yes,
because of this podcast.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
We've got less respect as human beings.
Yes,
but
we've garnished less respect too. Let's just
deservedly so.
All right. Well, let's go with one of our favorite things, and it's basically the backbone of the show, and that is
Swanee River.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louie's Observations.
All right. Well, now we get to Louie's Observations here. Now, this is from a great episode.
Oh, God.
Which is, well, I mean, they're all great.
But some are greater than others.
Some are greater than others. Mm-hmm. And this is from Head of the House.
Head of the House.
Yep. And it is the scene when Joe Fensterblau comes down.
Yes.
And here it is.
Very good, pal. You're beautiful. She lumped it.
Hey, hi, Norton. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Hey, just the guy I wanted to see. By any chance, did you read the paper last night?
Yes, I did, Crandon. You got away with some kind of a fluke. But before I believe that malarkey I read in the paper, you got to prove it to me.
Well, I always wish there was something right now I could do to prove it to you.
Well, there is a way. A very simple way. If a guy's really the boss of his house, it isn't any trouble for him to call up his wife and tell her he's bringing home a friend for supper.
Is that all you want?
$10 you can't do it.
You got a bet.
Yeah, I'd like a little piece of that.
I got another 10.
All right, you. Now, what would you like to have to eat tonight?
Oh, I'm not a fussy man. Just some soup, roast chicken with stuffing, rice, a little salad on the side, and a little dessert and coffee.
You got it, pal. Be there at 6.
6 o'clock. I'll see you.
Okay.
All right. So
the observations. First of all, I think Joe Fensterblau just trying to get a free meal out of this deal. That's what this whole thing's about. Okay. Now, the main line here is not a fussy man. Yes. Then Ralph does ask him, what does he want? And he goes through this list. Now, normally if somebody asks you if you're coming over there, invited over their house, do you ask them what you want to eat?
No, you say...
He's like, come over there, I'll be there at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll have dinner.
We'll have dinner, and you're going to go there and eat whatever they put in front of you. That's, the
right.
The nice thing to do and the mannerly thing to do. Exactly. So Joe not for Joe Fensterblau.
No.
He's got to come up. Soup, roast chicken with stuffing, rice, salad, and a little dessert and coffee. Now, you know how good it is to make that? Even if Alice made that. Think about it.
That's a heck of a meal.
That's a heck of a meal.
Yeah.
I mean, I know soup just cooks away in the pot, but still, you got to prepare the soup. Chop the vegetables, I know I make soups all the time.
Yeah.
They're time consuming. The cooking part, no, because the pot's doing the work.
Yeah.
But then you're making now you got to make stuffing for this roast chicken.
I know. He couldn't just have chicken.
Just regular chicken.
You need stuffing. This isn't Thanksgiving.
Yeah, really. He needs stuffing. You don't even order this when you go to a restaurant. This is like a 7-course meal.
Yeah, really. No wonder why he's put on a little weight lately.
Put a little weight lately.
Little weight lately.
Like something. No, put on a little weight lately.
Little weight lately. And you know what's great is that Joe Fensterblau, he is just the fact that, you know, he says, "Oh, I'm not a fussy man," and he runs through this whole gamut of all the different foods that he wants. Yeah. And this guy, like when he says, "Oh, well, did you see the newspaper?" And he goes, "Oh, well," he goes, "Before I believe any of that malarkey, you know, it's like I got to see it for myself." It's like, what do you think Ralph did?
Yeah, really.
Like, did he break into the newspaper? Like, it's in the newspaper. You have him saying that he's the boss in the newspaper, and he's like, "You got to prove it to me."
Yeah.
Like, and why do you? And look, I get it because he prefaces it.
Yeah.
With the drinking scene,
yes,
which we're gonna touch on that in a little bit. He prefaces it by, you know, like you're drinking and the truth comes out.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh well, it all's up with that Joe Fensterblau." So in other words, Joe Fensterblau is the reason why Ralph wants to be a blowhard about his wife, about being the boss, and he's the one that's actually not believing him when he did it in the paper.
Yep.
It's like Fensterblau. This Fensterblau is a real jerk.
He's a jerk, basically. He certainly is. Basically, that's the word. You just put in. You can fill in the blank there. Because his name came up.
Yeah,
his name came up when, like you say, a little. What's that saying? A little wine, a little truth. Little
serum.
wine. No, little wine, a lot of truth. I think that's the old saying.
Okay, little wine, a lot
start
of truth.
drinking, everything comes
and then
out.
the truth. Yeah,
and
the truth serum.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just we just found it funny how like Joe Fensterblau
was
like
singled out.
Who is this guy?
He was singled out because he's a jerk. Everybody knows he's a jerk. And Norton knows he's a jerk.
And this goes to the human psyche.
Yep.
You know, like I've always said this, like when I'll talk to other comics, and you can have a room, like, you know, 100 people. 99 of them are enjoying themselves. One person is not. Your focus is going to go on that person.
Yeah.
Like I tell this to everybody. I say, look, you bought a brand new shirt, right? 20% Dacron. And you walk down the street and 100 people comment on your shirt. 99 of them said that's a really nice shirt. One person says, "What'd you buy that shirt for?" What are you going to think about?
That one person.
Yeah. And that's what Ralph did.
Yep.
Ralph, all he cared about was what Joe Fensterblau thought. Like, who cares? But
he was getting back at him, though, because he did say that thing about him.
What do you mean?
When he said when you could, you know, when he all the time when he said when you couldn't, they had the card game or something like that.
Right.
So that's the Fensterblau boiling thing behind. Like, here's my chance to get back at Joe Fensterblau.
Right. And it's like, but it just shows the humanity that Ralph has.
Yep.
Like a guy who's so brass and all that cared about what people thought about him. Even Joe Fensterblau. Like, would you care? But
again, the drunk was talking.
Yes.
You know, it was the booze that was talking, and it came out.
The truth came out.
The truth came out. Joe Fensterblau. What do they think about Joe Fensterblau? Hey, Norton. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy. To this day, I'll never understand what that was.
Windy. He's calling Windy.
Windy.
Windbag. He's a windbag. Ralph's a windbag. He's calling him Windy. Hey, Windy. Hiya, Windy. He's a windbag for what he said in the paper.
So that's a phrase that they use back
Yes,
then?
windy. Yeah, a windbag. Calling somebody you're a windbag means you talk.
Right, I've heard that, but I never knew that.
That's what it was. That's why he's calling him Windy.
That's great.
That's where the Windy comes from.
So they have this. There's like
this little thing going on between them two. Yeah,
it's like, you know. It's
just, you know,
Cramden and Fensterblau.
Fensterblau
Should have been on the undercard.
On the undercard.
Slugger Simpson.
Slugger Simpson at Madison Regard, or even at Ridgewood 3 weeks ago.
That's great.
Yeah.
I never realized that. All right, cool. All right, now
next item.
Yes, and this
is what
we don't even care about the bit.
Just play something.
Of course.
Hear ye, verily, hear ye. The Honeymooners podcast now presents Ad Lib or Not an Ad Lib. That is the question.
Oh, The great Dave Ingram.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You're gonna hear Dave Ingram a couple more times.
Yeah. We got
we're working on
we
a
got
couple
stuff
intros.
in the works. Yeah.
Recall of the week, and we're gonna introduce a new one, which I'll tell people about at the end of the show.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. So now, the ad lib or not ad lib, and where is the ad lib or not ad lib?
It's also from that same episode.
Yeah, and I can't find the darn clip.
Oh,
got it.
Oh, here
okay.
we go.
Here we go. It's from the next scene when they're drinking.
Their drinking scene.
Which we did all like episode
we did
14.
Episode 14
we dissected
yeah,
the whole
we
scene.
did.
But
Yes,
we
did.
wanted to just do ad lib or not ad lib, and here it is.
Just so we can hear Dave Ingram.
Feel like I had hair on my face.
And that's it.
That's
right?
it. So
now, you can argue, and we're going to go through this whole scene again just for the ad libs.
Just for the ad libs,
But we
yeah.
just wanted to do the one ad lib right after he says "va va voom."
Va, va, voom.
I got hair on my face.
I feel like I got hair on my face. Now, I'm in the camp that's an ad lib. And my reason, Joe, probably the same reasoning, is Norton's reaction.
Yes. That is a genuine laugh. It's almost like he laughed at that like it's the first time he's ever heard
and it was the first time he ever heard it.
It was the first time.
First time he
To
ever
me,
heard it.
that
He
was
laughs.
an
He gives
ad-lib.
like this hearty belly laugh.
Yes. Here, I'll play the laugh real quick.
On my face.
You can hear that.
That's. I don't care how great of an actor R. Carney was. You can't fake that. That's not acting.
And if he did, we know he's a great actor.
Well, yeah. Then he's the greatest of all time.
That line, we're two here for ad lib.
Yes.
So now we
got
want
a
y'all.
lot of, we got a couple things for the
Yeah, we do.
listeners
We
this
have
week.
we have the what? The Judy Connor thing? 14 or 16. What do you think about that?
Right.
We have the tent versus the cabin.
Tent first cabin. Yeah.
Now we have this.
And we have
We have
now
this.
we
Is
have,
it ad lib or not an ad lib? And give us a reason. We want a good reason too.
Good reason. Yeah. You want the reason?
What the reason? The reason.
So yeah, I believe that 100%.
Oh, it's got to be an ad lib. That's one of the best ones too.
Yeah.
It's just great. Because remember that whole scene it's kind of ad libbed.
Yeah. I'm sure there were a couple things that they had, and then they had to
follow something. Joe's out in the hole again. It's dusty out there.
Dusty out there.
And, I think we're going to do the podcast in the hall one day.
There was a hole.
There's a hole over there.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I believe.
Yeah,
that.
I think it's ad lib. I think it's ad lib.
And you know what? We never really mentioned his name, but Dick Burney.
Dick Burney. Yeah,
he's the guy who played. Well, he played. Joe Fensterblau.
We looked at IMDb just to get his name. It was Dick Burney. Okay,
Yep.
Now IMDb, like Joe always says, is not 100%. They gave him credit for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We have him for 5.
Yeah.
Now you got
Man's Pride. He's played Bill Davis.
Yep. Joe
Fensterblau.
We have him as the guy, the robber in not the robber, one of the mobsters in Funny Money.
Funny Money. Yep.
Who's the other one they didn't mention?
Oh, he was also.
Brother Andrews.
Let's
say, but he's Brother Andrews.
Something fishy. Right?
Something fishy, yeah.
When he got up
when he
and
got
he
up,
said
yeah,
something,
yeah.
right.
He said, hey, how about you, Cramden? You bring,
Yeah.
And then he's also, and this is a cameo, in Dial J.
Yeah.
He comes in the basement when Mrs. Monicati goes out and help, and,
Yeah.
and all these people come in with like hazmat suits on.
Yeah. The fireman.
He's the cop.
Yeah.
He's the cop.
He would actually, you know what? That's a good, even though it's a quick thing.
Yeah,
nobody
it's
has any
it's
but that's a
good
good cast. He looks like he could be a cop.
Yeah, he does.
That's probably, dude, think about it. He looks like he could be a gangster.
Gangster.
He looks like he could be a cop.
Yep.
And he looks like he could be a jerk bus driver.
Yeah, guy's a jerk.
He's just like he's like all encompassing.
Dick Burney,
Dick Burney.
It's kind of like the George Petrie too. Kind of looks like his characters. He comes across well.
Yeah.
I mean, he came across well as obviously Freddie Muller.
Yeah.
He comes across well as Dick Gersh.
Yes.
When he's got to be like a little, little harsher, harsher character.
Yep.
And then of course we know him better as the Freddie Muller character.
Right.
Then he was the
psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist,
Right.
which is basically he's in costume.
Yeah.
So
but we were saying that before the show. We were saying how Dick Petrie, Freddie Muller, he has a look. He has a softer look to him.
Yeah,
more chummy.
Yeah,
we use the phrase, the word chummy. He's got more of a chummy look to him. And I don't know if Dick Burney's got that chummy look to him, because you think about it. Think about the characters he plays. Yeah. He plays a gangster. He plays Joe Fensterblau, who's a blowhard.
Yeah,
and he plays Bill Davis,
who's basically the same way.
He's Joe Fensterblau, but he lives in Akron.
Off Chicago.
Where, I don't know. He probably does. He probably lives in Brooklyn. He's just been lying about it.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. It's that character again.
Yeah.
So he's the Dick Burney character.
Yeah, playing kind of
typecast.
Yeah, typecast. He could have been a good,
like a child actor.
He could have been an Archie Bunker.
Can't break that mold.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So Dick Burney.
You
know what?
To Dick Burney.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll make him. Well, no, we can't make him one and done. He's been in 5 different episodes.
His characters are one and done, but he's been in. That's very true. His characters are one and done. His characters are, but not him.
Yeah, but not him.
Not him. He shows up all over the place.
The great Dick Burney. So,
like the great Suzanne Miller.
The great Suzanne Miller. Dude, I swear to I'll bet you.
After
this, they're probably going to be like, if you even mention Judy Connors one more time, I'm stop listening to this podcast. We promise. We're done with Judy Connors for a while. So,
how are we for time?
What are we at? Well, we're at 36 minutes.
Oh. Yeah. You know, I don't even have a trivia question.
You don't have a trivia question for me?
Hold on, let me get something here.
Go ahead.
Something. Let me get talk.
Go ahead. Let me get this thing here.
We ready for the trivia?
I can be ready for it.
Okay.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Are you got one?
Hold on here.
Hold on. Trivia theme. I can. Oh, here.
Wait. That thing's gonna keep going for a while.
You on here?
Not really.
Hold on. Come on, Lou.
On here?
Oh, this is a good one. I don't think we did this once before. I hope we didn't.
Okay.
If we did, you can get it wrong
All
again.
right. Yeah, get it wrong again. Thanks.
All right, go ahead.
Here we go.
Cue it.
And now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Herp.
Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our...
A courier from Parsippany, New Jersey, Joe Conti.
Thank you.
What's the expression on your face when you miss it?
Yeah, I got to get that.
I got to get that. You'll cue that one up, too. All right, Joe, we're going to play... because God for me.
You people have to see.
You've got to see this piece of paper.
It's got a piece
hanging
of paper.
On.
It's It needs stitches. Like
I couldn't even staple this, Joe. The staples wouldn't hold.
He's got a piece of paper that's ripped all the way down the middle. It looks like half of the $40 million that Ralph was ripping in half.
Okay, we're gonna play the names the same.
Okay,
because it's the only thing I have in front of me.
Okay.
This is a tough one. I'll tell you why.
So this is where I have to. You mention a name.
It's a name that's used several times. Same name, but used several times.
And I have to mention
different characters.
Different characters
using
right.
the same name.
Gotcha.
You're gonna get one, but I don't know about the second one. Johnson.
Of course, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, you got that one.
There's only two.
You got to play the TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's not. With it being Johnson, I don't know if I'm.
This is really hard.
All right, let me get. Do you see the person?
No, you don't.
Do you hear them?
No, you don't.
It's a reference.
Yes.
Who makes the reference?
Nobody. It's in the background, and I'll just give you a hint. Gotham Bus Company.
Is it on when they're talking about opportunity? No, wait a minute.
They don't even mention him. He's in the background.
Is it a picture? No, it's not a picture.
No.
Oh, it's a chick?
No.
Mrs. No?
Nope.
I don't think I know this.
It's a tough one. It's tough.
Do you have any hint that might be able to get me?
Well, if I give you a hint, you
what about the episode?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know the episode?
No, don't even know the episode. All I know is it's the Gotham Bus Company.
It's not the guy who No, I was going to say.
No, because he's never mentioned. It's just his name is just there. It's on the board.
Oh, it's in the one with applicant. Is that from there?
No, that's a Raccoon Lodge. This is in the Gotham Buff Company.
Oh my God. Gotham Buff Company.
Gotham Buff Company. Philly Webbit.
I don't know.
He's the cashier. There's a thing in one of the things that said, now this was Brother Bibbs, I believe, pointed this out to me.
Okay.
It says, turn your receipts into, I think his name is Frank Johnson?
And what episode?
I don't know.
You can't think of where you saw it from?
No, Brother Bibbs told me.
Oh. Now I got to
look for it. I don't know what it is. Maybe he can. Maybe he knows the episode. But it's on the chalkboard. It's some kind of chalkboard in the background. Turn your receipts into blank.
It's got to be downstairs.
Yeah.
It has to be downstairs when he goes, all right.
Could be on that board or something.
It has to be there because that's it's that time. It's the only time when you saw them down. No, two times. I'm sorry. One was with the golfer. You saw him down there, and the other one was
when Mr. Harper walks through the golfer
with Mr. Harper, and then the one we were just talking
about,
with Joe Fensterblau.
Yeah.
So it's got to be down there.
Got to be down there. So I don't know. Actually, I did this, because I had nothing prepared.
Well, I just want to thank Brother Bibbs for that.
Okay,
Louis, I give him nothing for that.
You can go back and forth with him on it. I didn't come up with that one. So anyway, he's the actual cashier at the Gotham Bus Company.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if it's Frank, something like that. Frank Johnson.
That's a tough one.
It is a real tough one. Wow. Real tough one.
Well, listen, that's our episode. Who can we thank? First of all, we got to thank all of our pals.
Oh, God.
Brother Bibbs, all
everybody.
you guys. I mean, there's so many of them, and we're going to do.
Well, I'm going to make the announcement right now.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to come up with something here.
Okay.
It's going to be called, again, of the week. Full-grown nut of the week.
Yep, absolutely.
And we're going to elect one each week. Me and Joe will discuss it. And it's going to be based on your responses to us on your internet, on the email, and on the voicemail.
Okay.
And it's going to be based on that.
Yeah.
How you participate. And you would just randomly, it doesn't matter if
Yeah,
you're the
we'll
first
talk
one
about
or
it.
the fourth
Like,
one.
it'll be Mark S. or whatever.
Somebody,
And we'll talk about you a little bit.
you were being crowned nut. Full-grown nut of the week.
Nut of the week.
And we'll
crowned.
and then we'll explain why. Maybe something that you said to us or something like
Absolutely.
that. Just to get some more participation going.
Absolutely.
We like participation. We
We
like
love
it
when you
on
guys
on the page, right, Joe?
It's so great on the page, you
when we
guys.
hear people.
Even when you blast us a little bit, it's
It's
okay.
okay. Just blast Joe. Don't blast me. Don't take.
All right, so hopefully we'll have that by next week.
Yeah,
which will be cool.
Yeah,
especially where we're getting the intro from. So
okay.
Anyway, the intro's going to be fantastic.
This intro's going to be great. It's going to be on the form of ad lib.
Really. All right, so who can we thank first? Silk City Hot Sauce. All right, thanks to Silk City Hot Sauce for being our sponsor. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com and get yourself some great homemade hot sauce, and then put RX in the coupon code and the checkout and get yourself 15% off of your order and a free bottle of cherry sriracha. Yeah. And all of you guys, all of you full-grown nuts who listen, email us, comment on Facebook, and some of you special pals, you know who you are. Don't forget, man, share with your friends on social media, either a couple of videos. We just put out a new video. Called from Trapped.
Yep.
Called I Heard Shots. It was from a.
You remember Trapped, don't you?
You guys remember Trapped, right?
You're probably dying for it right now. Like, please.
Yeah, after Judy Connors. After the Judy Connors fiasco.
The recall.
So share some of those. Let people know, especially people you know that are like big Honeymooners fans. Let them know. We want as many people listening to the show as possible, because then we get more people that can, we can interact with. You know.
Yes.
And also thank you the Facebook group, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge with Joy and Brother Norton. Check out my 1-hour comedy album called Happiness. You can download it anywhere you get your music or comedy. You can get it for free somewhere, or if you just go to like Amazon, you can purchase it. You can support me. That's great. Yeah. And I think that is it.
Should be it.
Thank you, everybody. And episode number 78 in the books. From me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum, Judy Connors. Night all.
All right.
Good night. We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.